Alright, hello, we're going to work on factoring. This is Algebra II Semester 1, Unit 3, Bridge Math Semester 1, Unit 4. This would be the first section in each. I got the example problems from the studies. So that's the first section of the Unit 3 for Algebra 2, or Unit 4 for Bridge Math. And then I think the examples were on like page 5 or page 7, somewhere in between there. I'm following my steps from the Apex study guide with my additional notes. If you do not have it, please request and I can send that to you. It looks like, I'll see if this even works. Looks like these steps. So this is what I'm following. All right. So first thing we are going to want to do is that step 1 is we want to identify C in the trinomial. Well, we need to remember that all of these trinomials, all of these problems are going to have AX. They're going to be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So c is always going to be that constant. So here we're going to say c is equal to 8. Step 2, it says we need to find all the factor pairs of c. Oh, excuse me. So we got to make a PQ chart. And 8's not so bad. 1 times 8, 2 times 4. But if you need a factor chart, it goes up to 100, gets you all the factors for all numbers up to 100. If you don't have that, let me know. I'll get it to you. So I got 1 times 8, 2 times 4. Step 3 is my handwriting said if C is positive, we add P and Q. If C is negative, we subtract. Well, in this case, C is positive. So we're going to go ahead and add P and Q. I apologize for any of the bad handwriting. It's not good on pencil and paper. It's not exactly better on this. So we're going to go ahead and add that. 1 plus 8 is going to be 9. 2 plus 4 is 6. Step 4 says we identify B. In this case, B is equal to 6. I do not care that it's negative 6. That doesn't impact me yet. So I need to then find which factor pair gives me that. Well, there's my 6. So that makes 2 and 4 my factor pair. Now going back to my little cheat sheet here, I have a B term that is negative and a C term that is positive. Now I care about the factors. So I have a B term that's negative and a C term that's positive. On my little cheat sheet that's on the study guide on the bottom, it tells me that both of my factors are going to be negative. So I'm going to have x minus and x minus. It's not a bad idea to do this step first. Just have your factors kind of sitting there and waiting. And we have identified that 2 and 4 are my factors. So I'm just going to write x minus 2, x minus 4. If we wanted to check ourselves, because we should, we would do our box method or our FOIL. So I set up my little box method. There we go. X times x is x squared. X and negative 2, it's going to be negative 2x. X and negative 4 is going to be negative 4x. Negative 4 and 8 is negative 4 and negative 2 is going to be a positive 8. I can then combine diagonally. So I'd have x squared minus 6x plus 8, which is the same thing I had above. So those, it was really quick. Those were the steps, and I'll repeat that. Now here, what I'm gonna say here is with x squared plus 7x. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. X squared plus 7x plus 12. I know that I'm going to have factors because I have a positive b term and a positive c term. I'm going to have factors that are both positive. Don't know what the numbers are yet, but I know they will both be positive terms. All right, now we're going to identify my c term just like normal. That's my first step. So c equals 12. I'm going to make a PQ chart for that. 1 and 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. So in this case, I had 3 of them. Now, if C is positive, we go ahead and we add P and Q. If C is negative, we subtract. Well, in this case, C is positive, so we're going to go ahead and add. So we got 13, 8, and 7. Now we need to identify my B term. My B term is 7. Well, there's my 7. So 3 and 4, and I'm just going to plug them right on in. And I could check it, but just to save time, we don't need to. So we just have to do it in the first step. So we identify my C term. I get all my factor pairs of C. I then identify my B and see which one fits. And I go from there. The next one is going to have a little bit of a trick here. If I go ahead and I'm going to start. So I have a minus minus. That tells me my form, my answer form, is going to be x plus. And again, this is all in the cheat sheet on the study guide. And x minus. So a B term's negative and the C term's negative. That tells me I have opposite signs. I have one of each. Other than that, I'm going to do the same steps. What's my C term? My C term is 10. I do not care that it's negative 10. I do not pay attention to my positive or negative signs. It does not impact me. So C is just negative, so I'm going to do my PQ chart just as if C was a number. Just a positive number, I guess I should say, to be clear. So 1 times 10, 2 times 5. Now the reason, no, never mind. That'd be excess information. That's not important. We don't care about the plus and minus signs. That's all that matters. Now we care, right? So if C is positive, we add P and Q. If C is negative, we subtract. So in this case, C was negative, so we're going to go ahead and subtract. Now, same logic, though. I don't care about negatives. 1 minus 10 is technically negative 9. I'm just going to say it's 9. 2 minus 3 is technically negative 3. I'm just going to say it's 3. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't impact me. I need to identify my B term. A B term in this case is 3. It's actually negative 3, but again, I do not care. I identify my 3, so I have a 2 and a 5. Now, the one additional step that's on this paper that we haven't talked about yet is the last step. It says if the biggest number between P and Q, so the biggest number between 2 and 5, which is going to be 5, gets the middle sign, gets the B sign. Well, our B sign is negative. So our B is negative. That means 5, my biggest number, gets the negative sign, and 2 gets the positive sign. So the biggest number between P and Q, which would be 5, gets the middle sign, gets the B sign, right? The B was a negative sign here. So the 5 got the negative and the 2 went over here with the positive. That's what we have to do. That's the last step that we need to do when there are split signs, when you have one of each. Now remember, 10 is bigger than 5, but 10 is not my P or Q, right? We had to look, we used our P minus Q to determine which one gave us B, and then those two numbers would be my factor pair. So 5 is the biggest of my factor pair, not the biggest overall.